You're tuned into Bike Chat, where the bike is the vehicle for liberation.
This is Dan Kaufman coming at you with an open mic and an open mind from Portland, Oregon. We're going to be talking bicycles and revolution tonight, so hold on your hat. Hold on to your hat. I see we had Anime Lover in the room. You know what? We might have a special video just for you tonight. I also see we've got Crank My Chain 2 in the room. Well, that's me. So when you see any chatting done by Crank My Chain 2, that I'm going to just do it right now. I'll show you. There is me chatting there. And Waispo in the room. Am I pronouncing that right? Well, it's good to have you. I got the clipboard right here. This is the show. It's quite a show. We've got Joe Beal, a special guest tonight. He's going to be talking about critical mass and a documentary that he's been working on for critical mass. That's something you don't see around Portland anymore. Or do you? We'll talk about that a little bit. And Waylon is in the room. Waispo. I'm giving it away. I've done it again. He might come in and join us via Skype. If you want to join the show, you can call in. 503-683-1666 is the number. Or you can Skype in. Crank My Chain is the handle. And you just need to let us know that you're making a request for that handle, because we don't have that right up at the forefront. Let us know that you'd like to get on via Skype. And so we need to get right into it, because we've got so much stuff today. But I'll tell you really quickly what we're going on. We're going to be talking about massive freeway projects. We're going to be talking about massive bike rides and massive bike fun. So there you go. It's massive. It's a massive show tonight. So make sure you really hold on to your seat. You may just fall right through the floor, right straight in through the earth, and come out the other side, because there's so much critical mass going on here. And so the first video of the day is called Put the Fun Between Your Legs. It is from the Bike Block. It's from Copenhagen, and it's talking about using bikes as a protest vehicle. So let's check it out.
Everything we take for granted, the weekend, gay rights, the right to form a union, the abolition of slavery, everything was won by disobedience. Every form of rebellion we know was dreamt up and invented by someone, somewhere.
All right. So that was from, that video was made in 2009, and that was in advance of the climate conference, and that's where they created the bike swarm. That's where that term came from, and that's where we got some influence from. And and as well as possibly the critical mass. And we're going to be talking about critical mass and what that is and what that ride is with Joe Beal very soon. In fact, we're going to be Skyping in on over to him on the internet tubes here. We still get to use the internet. They still let a crazy, radical guy like me use the internet. How about that? So as long as you see me here on the internet, then you know not all is lost. When you start hearing me on the ham radio using Morse code, then you know it's trouble brewing. All right, let's see. We've got Let's Find Joe in the room. Yes, excellent. By the way, if you're watching the show at crankmychain.tv, sign in. Come on in and join the room. If you're watching at Stickam and you haven't signed in yet, well, you know what to do. Come on in and join the room, because that's how you get the full experience, because you can chat and it becomes two-way television, which is really what we're going for here. Not the Dan Kaufman Show. As much as I like to talk and play music and play videos that I like and stuff, I want to hear what you think, especially when it comes to bikes and politics and putting the fun between your legs, which is another video that we've got coming up. Or was that the video we just did? Well, anyway, yes, Put the Fun Between Your Legs was our first video. We've got another one in that series. Okay, product review. Today we're going to get right to it real quick. Product review, or, outfitting the revolution, as we call it here at the shoe. And we've had a lot of great products. Yesterday was an expensive product. The day before was something that's actually on your bike already, which is the bike bell, the top tube brake cable bike bell. You just pull it up and wing it back and you get a bell. Free. It's right there. It's already on your bike. Today we're going to give another cheap one, okay? Plastic decorations like this that have little clip-on type things, So this is on my bike right now. It's very festive. It's very seasonal for the spirit, for the Yuletide spirit, Christmas, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa. All right, so you just put that on your bike, and there you go. You've just kind of added some flair. If you like flowers, you could put a flower on. Where can you find these? Well, you could try the Lipman store here in Portland. They would probably have something like these. Or if not them, you might get lucky at the dollar store. But where we always seem to find them is Goodwill. And you can get them at Goodwill for real cheap. They're plastic, so they're not going to die on you on your bike. Because having a little water tube thing for flowers and that kind of thing is difficult on your bike. But you want to have some flair. So there you go. That's my outfitting the revolution of the day. The revolution should not be tedious. That's my opinion. I don't want the revolution to be tedious. And it won't be, because it's got a lot of movement. And I see Kaufman7 says, agreed here. Good. We're all in agreement. So I think we could go right into, so we've done our product review, so we can go right into Joe Beal's critical mass video. Now, this is a documentary, and right afterwards, we're going to try to set up an interview with him. So be patient with us as we set up the Skype. It's only going to be the second time we've done that on the show. But for right now, let's watch critical mass documentary. This is about the kind of the downfall of critical mass in Portland. And but it talks about critical mass all over the world, which is still happening. Check it out.
Portland is a critical mass of bike culture.
I think critical mass has been an effective part of a movement to normalize bike traffic.
It makes a statement to cars, that are sitting there seeing the sea of bikes come by.
Yeah, critical mass was a big deal because not only did it help make the policy point, but it retrained the police bureau.
In the 90s, you had more strictly, private vehicles and commercial vehicles on the street. And now you have other modes of transportation.
The state of Oregon, way back when, had said, hey, we have a certain amount of funds that should be allocated to put in bike infrastructure, and no one at City Hall anyway, would answer my questions. When they stopped responding, I thought it was time for some sort of action.
This is happening. Our history repeats. It's unstoppable. Makes you believe there must be something more to that Bible. It's why else would so many people die for no reason at all.
A heavy and hostile police presence makes critical mass not fun, and if it's not fun, it doesn't exist.
Well, I think what killed critical mass in Portland is two major things. First one is how the police handled the riot and their response, and I also think just simply because people found other things, people sort of moved on.
World Naked Bike Ride is going to be on the 19th instead of midnight. Last year we had 1% of Portland naked.
Yes.
This year we're going for 2%.
And so getting that show of enthusiasm and urgency and momentum so that now that they're in the budget process, they know that a top priority.
It was bumper-to-bumper traffic, and the bicyclists were actually riding through the traffic, moving faster than all the stopped cars that were bumper-to-bumper, yet the police were upset that the bicyclists were impeding traffic.
I saw one of the motorcycle officers pull over one of the bike riders and tell him he was going to charge him for not having a red rear light. And the guy pulled out a little sheet of bike laws and said, "I don't need a rear light, I just need a rear reflector." And the cop said, "All right then." And he pulled out his own sheet of bike laws and he said, "I'm going to charge you for riding in the wrong place." And the guy explained that he was riding in the right place of the lane, and then the officer found something else to charge him for.
The city government tends to be liberal, and the police union tends to be Rush Limbaugh-style conservative.
And the police bureau